Imagine Donald Trump makes a triumphant return to the political stage, once again taking the oath of office as the 47th President of the United States. His comeback leaves no one indifferent, stirring a storm of emotions both at home and abroad. As he resolutely reshapes the American political landscape, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer may be regretting his recent words. Just a few months ago, Starmer didn't hesitate to brand Trump as a threat to global stability, even rejecting the possibility of a friendly dinner. The political landscape is rapidly changing, and past statements may come back to haunt their authors. Indeed, words have tremendous power. And here, in our day, we see that same person expressing sincere congratulations to Donald Trump. An awkward situation arises, which however may well be part of the political game. The UK Prime Minister is expected to visit this evening. What is the opinion of him? Despite criticism from some members of the government, Donald Trump speaks positively of him, noting his successful performance and popularity. The upcoming meeting will provide an opportunity to convey greetings. This unexpected turn of events looks more like an attempt to mitigate the consequences than a display of diplomacy. However, the question arises, will Donald Trump be able to forget all the previous criticism? Most likely not. Donald Trump wastes no time. On his first day as the 47th President of the United States, he immediately took decisive action, canceling environmental restrictions, stimulating energy production, and restoring political decisions that had been overturned by his predecessor. The American political landscape clearly reflects Donald Trump's vision, where jobs, national security, and the supremacy of U.S. interests are priorities. This has a noticeable impact not only on domestic policy but also on international relations, which are closely watched by both allies and adversaries. While some world leaders see this as an opportunity to strengthen mutually beneficial ties, others express concern. In particular, in the UK, Trump's actions have sparked widespread discussions, especially in Westminster political circles. Many are wondering if Prime Minister Keir Starmer will be able to build stable and predictable relations with such an extraordinary American leader. A notable point was that despite the invitation of 12 world leaders to Trump's inauguration, Keir Starmer was not included on this list. This caused bewilderment and questions about the prospects for further cooperation between the two countries. The domestic political situation in the UK is also alarming. There are reports of arrests for statements on social media, economic decline, difficulties for farms, and a worsening situation for pensioners to which the government, according to some, is not paying due attention. And this, it is claimed, is only part of the problems facing the country. There are currently a number of unresolved issues that require immediate attention. The insufficient investigation of serious problems such as the activities of criminal groups and the actions of activists supporting unpopular ideas is exacerbated by the fact that leaders do not pay due attention to innovators and critics such as Donald Trump. When leadership is distracted from the interests of the people, serious problems arise. The international community has reacted ambiguously to what is happening. Some welcome the bold actions while others are preparing for unpredictable consequences. For the UK, which is in a difficult situation, Trump's decisive steps represent both a challenge and a warning. The question arises, will Keir Starmer be able to cope with the coming changes? Keir Starmer has previously strongly criticized Donald Trump, calling his policies dangerous and arguing that his leadership poses a global threat. In his speeches and interviews, Starmer did not mince words, demonstrating his rejection of Trump's views. However, the internet remembers everything. Old videos of Starmer criticizing Trump have resurfaced online, causing widespread resonance and discussion. Recent footage shows Keir Starmer's firm position, rejecting the possibility of an alliance with Donald Trump, raising questions given his recent welcoming statements. The public reaction was not long in coming. Critics accuse Starmer of duplicity while Trump supporters express satisfaction. The situation represents a serious crisis for the British Prime Minister unfolding on the international stage. The media is closely monitoring every step, delving into the details. Now that Trump has regained his post, the question arises, will Starmer's past statements backfire on him? Following Donald Trump's inauguration, Keir Starmer extended his congratulations, a move that surprised many given his previous criticisms of Trump as a threat to global stability. The contrast in positions was evident. Starmer's congratulatory message was polite and diplomatic, perceived by some as a political calculation rather than genuine admiration aimed at maintaining stable relations. In one statement concerning the mayor of London, Trump remarked that he believed the mayor was not doing a great job. Public opinion generally agrees that the mayor's performance has fallen short of expectations, citing rising crime rates and unresolved pressing issues. Therefore, his criticism of a U.S. representative who could potentially offer significant support to the United Kingdom raises questions. The importance of a constructive approach and a positive attitude instead of the negative influence some believe he exerts is emphasized. It is argued that his statements harm the country's interests and that he should focus on fulfilling his direct responsibilities. Addressing existing problems, including those he may have contributed to, would be more appropriate. Public reaction to his actions has been largely negative. Critics accuse him of hypocrisy, suggesting his actions are driven by political pressure. Even within his own party, there is dissatisfaction. Some view it as a belated attempt to salvage relations with the White House, while others believe these efforts are insufficient. The internet reacted strongly to resurfaced excerpts of Keir Starmer's past statements, reminding the public of his previous beliefs. This information surge, instead of easing the situation, fueled skepticism. The question now is whether the politician can regain lost trust through convincing rhetoric, or if control over public opinion has slipped away entirely. Donald Trump, known for his remarkable memory for grievances, whether public disputes with celebrities or cold treatment of world leaders, has a reputation for not forgiving or forgetting. His grudges have become legendary, and those who dare to defy him often face the consequences of his decisions. It is likely that Starmer's past criticism did not go unnoticed. Trump is not inclined to forgive easily, which could pose serious problems for the UK. Diplomatic relations could suddenly become more strained, and economic cooperation could face unpredictable obstacles. The stakes are high, as the UK is already facing challenges in the post-Brexit era, and a confrontation with the US president is the last thing it needs. Trump's alliances with figures like Nigel Farage only add to the tension in an already complex situation. Keir Starmer's past words may create difficulties for the UK in the future, considering Donald Trump's character, known for his long memory and impatience. As America seeks to strengthen its position on the world stage, aiming to regain its status as the greatest, most powerful, and most respected nation, political connections and past statements take on particular significance. Donald Trump, declaring his mission to make America great again, emphasizes the need to accept short-term difficulties to achieve long-term prosperity. In this context, Nigel Farage, closely associated with Trump, emerges as a key ally. Their political alignment is evident in Farage's active support for Trump, his participation in rallies, praise for his policies, and joint campaign appearances in the United States. Unlike many European politicians who prefer to distance themselves from Trump, Farage has strengthened his position, becoming his main ally in the UK. These circumstances could influence future relations between the UK and the US, especially given potential changes in the political landscape. However, Nigel Farage does not intend to rest on his laurels. His sights are set on the political landscape of the UK, where he intends to bring about a real revolution through his reformed UK party. This new political movement aims to shake up the established order, challenging the political elite and promising to implement radical changes in the country. Farage's populist methods largely echo the strategy used by Donald Trump, and it becomes clear that they share a common vision for the future of their countries. This close interaction between the two politicians has not gone unnoticed. Now that Donald Trump has reclaimed the presidency, Nigel Farage is uniquely positioned to influence relations between the UK and the United States, potentially even more so than Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Donald Trump has never hidden his admiration for Nigel Farage, calling him one of the most influential people in Europe and praising his leadership during Brexit. For Trump, Farage embodies the bold and straightforward politics he values. At the same time, Trump's remarks about Keir Starmer are laced with sarcasm. While calling Starmer a nice guy, Trump's tone suggests a lack of genuine respect. The difference in perception between the two figures is striking. Nigel Farage is presented as a friend and ally, while Keir Starmer is seen more as just another politician trying to catch up. This raises the question, should Nigel Farage be given a more significant role? Many consider Farage to be an outstanding figure, noting his long-standing presence in the political arena and his success in elections where his party gained more seats than expected. Despite recognizing his victory, the UK's electoral system seems somewhat unusual, as victory does not always guarantee the desired outcome. Overall, Farage is characterized as a person with exceptional qualities. Such favoritism does not come without consequences. Trump's clear preference for Farage could signal a shift in the US approach to the UK. Trump's support for Farage's Reform Party could sideline Starmer's government. The message conveyed is clear. Trump values loyalty, and in his view, Farage has proven his commitment while Starmer has yet to do so. Furthermore, Trump's campaign has expressed displeasure with the actions of British officials, accusing them of overstepping boundaries during the U.S. election. Recent statements have sparked a wave of discussion alleging secret support for Kamala Harris from members of the Labour Party, including those close to Keir Starmer. Despite the lack of specific details, these allegations have already caused significant discord. This alleged interference has not gone unnoticed. Donald Trump Jr., the former U.S. president's son, has openly criticized the UK, emphasizing the inappropriateness of such involvement and its potential damage to the special relationship between the two countries. These accusations gained further traction after information emerged that members of the Labour Party had allegedly provided strategic assistance to Democratic figures during the election campaign. As a result, the British Labour Party has come under fire for election interference. Whether this will harm the special relationship between the UK and the US remains to be seen. However, as Donald Trump Jr. noted, it's not a great start, indicating clear signs of meddling. He also expressed concern about the situation in the UK where, according to him, people are being put in jail for misgendering, which he considers disgusting and shameful. Legal action has been taken within Donald Trump's camp. A lawsuit has been filed against the Labour Party, accusing it of attempting to influence the election in favor of its opponents. Regardless of the validity of these accusations, they have cast a shadow over the already complex relationship between the UK and the United States, putting Keir Starmer's government in a difficult position. The timing of this development is particularly unfortunate as Trump's triumphant return to politics heralds a settling of old scores. Keir Starmer's leadership has come under scrutiny as the once strong ties between the UK and the US are being tested. Starmer's previous remarks about Trump, coupled with suspicions of election interference, have not escaped the White House's attention. It is well known that Trump values loyalty above all else, and Starmer's track record can hardly be described as impeccable from this perspective. Trump's apparent disdain for Starmer, along with his fondness for Nigel Farage, has altered the dynamics of the relationship between the two countries. The diplomatic atmosphere has noticeably cooled, and there are growing fears that the special relationship may not be so special after all. Against this backdrop, an invitation has been extended to President Trump to attend Pride in London next year. I also extend an invitation to attend traditional Friday prayers with me, open to all, whether in London, at a Hindu temple, a Sikh Gurdwara, or a Jewish synagogue. I believe it is important to share the joys of being in this greatest place in the world with the president-elect, and I look forward to making this happen during his visit to the UK. The future appears shrouded in uncertainty. With Trump supporting Farage's populist movement and Starmer facing the consequences of his past actions, the UK risks weakening its influence with a key ally. For a post-Brexit Britain seeking trade deals and global partnerships, these diplomatic tensions could have serious repercussions. The question is whether Starmer can find a way to repair the damage, or if the relationship is beyond repair. The path ahead for the UK in its relationship with the US appears complex. With Donald Trump's potential return to power and his apparent lack of enthusiasm for Keir Starmer, the so-called special relationship is at a turning point. The UK's political climate seems particularly volatile, stemming from past criticisms of Keir Starmer, his recent, perhaps unexpected, congratulatory message, and speculation about possible election interference. Adding to the tension is Donald Trump's clear preference for Nigel Farage. Farage can be characterized as a supporter who boldly and steadfastly expresses his position, which undoubtedly appeals to Trump. At the same time, Starmer's actions may be perceived as inconsistent, placing him in a rather vulnerable position. This situation could impact a wide range of issues, from trade agreements to diplomatic cooperation, especially in the context of how a Trump administration plans to prioritize its international alliances. In one of his speeches, Trump mentioned a certain European figure, expressing confidence that he is doing a great job and is a friend. He also noted that this person seems to be sympathetic to him and plays an important role in current political processes in the UK. Trump emphasized that this politician was one of the main winners in the recent British elections and is highly respected. Nigel Farage met with applause. Applause. He maintains a spirit of controversy, which is certainly a valuable quality. In the current circumstances, as the UK seeks to strengthen its post-Brexit position, any complications in international relations are particularly undesirable. Donald Trump's unpredictability creates additional difficulties in building stable partnerships. Now, Kier Starmer faces a difficult task. Can he restore the shaken ties? Or has the UK already missed the opportunity to maintain a strong relationship with its key ally? The question remains open.